The podcast you're about to hear involves true stories, which may contain graphic content that is not suitable for children. Listeners' discretion is advised. This is Esoteric Oddities.
Hi, I have a question for you.
What's the fuck up?
Do you think Marge Simpson's pubes are blue?
I don't know. Does the curtain match the drapes?
Does the curtain match the drapes?
You never heard that before?
I've heard, does the carpet match the drapes?
Oh, I've heard curtain.
Well, because curtain and drapes are like both on a window.
Does the carpet match the drapes? I think it is, yes.
Oh, you are yelling. Oh my
sorry.
goodness. It's okay.
Like what?
Oh my God. Sorry. Have you been?
This week has been the worst week of my life. It's been bad news after bad news.
But I have good news.
What's up?
It's our Christmas episode.
It is. It's our last episode of 2018, guys. I hope you like spending every week this year with us because we're canceling the show.
Bye.
I'm just kidding.
We're actually canceling this episode right now. With that being said, we are actually, after this episode, going to take a little bit of a break because, you know, we're going to rejuvenate. We're going to go to the spa. We're going to go to that place that I think it's actually illegal in the United States where like the fish chew the dead skin off your feet.
That's illegal here?
I think.
Fuck, they make every good thing illegal here. I would love that. Suck the skin off my feet. Exactly.
You could probably pay that dude who like lives in the alley behind your house to do it.
He's real scary.
He would suck the skin off your feet. Oh God! Merry Christmas, you guys! Happy
Merry
holidays!
Chrysler.
And so we will be back. We just want to kind of get like a new creative beginning, and we're gonna have bigger and better things. That's a big claim.
I think we said that last week.
And I think I'm gonna post. What is it? What's that other saying? Put my foot in my ass, in my mouth.
I'm gonna put my foot in it. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I put my foot in it.
That's not a thing.
Yes, it is.
No,
it means
not.
like you like really did a good job cooking whatever you cooked. It's like a cooking term.
So this year, I don't know if you were here last year, but last year we started our annual Chrismysteries.
And we're going to continue.
And we're going to continue it. Is yours a mystery? So mine's a mystery. So we got a little bit of Chrismysteries.
Mine's a mystery at first. Well, they don't. It is a mystery because it's not really proven. It's just like they have theories.
Okay, I'm here for the theories. I'm theory.
I'm theoried.
So I've been playing off topic. I've been playing a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
You would? Is that really what you do?
Yeah, my brother got an iPad just so he could play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh my God, and you play it.
Oh frick yeah, I've been tearing it up.
I love that for you.
Loopy landscapes. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so I have a story. So fuck Roller Coaster Tycoon. No, don't, because it's a really great game. And they actually have an app out and you can play the original Roller Coaster Tycoon. I think it's $5.99.
I'm more of like a Sims person. My brother got me the Sims 4 like years ago, and every computer I've had ever since doesn't have a hard drive, like a disk drive, so I haven't been able to play it. I'm gonna buy one.
A hard drive? And
yeah.
You can do, the external hard drives. I think they plug in as like USBs or something.
I'm going to buy one as soon as we're done with this, and I'm going to play Sims.
Well, you don't need the disc anymore. You can go on Steam and you can literally download like a digital download, but don't do it on that computer. You need like a computer. Well, I guess if you're not going to do it, you probably need a disc.
Yeah.
But you need like space on your computer, and you need, what is that called? RAM. Oh, baby.
That's so annoying. Also, like, I have to like...
Ask Santa. Or what? Ask the Hanukkah monster.
Santa!
Bring me. It's literally something to play The Sims on. I used to frick with The Sims.
I loved
The Sims.
I used to love making them have babies.
Oh my God, me too.
That was like a life changer for me. A game changer.
I literally made Amy Winehouse and Zac Efron because there was this website, I forget what it was called, but you could download like actual celebrities. That. So I made them live together in a gingerbread house. Oh my God, how fitting. Chrismysteries.
Shut up. I hate
And they
you.
used to smoosh.
Ooh. I love when the foot used to pop out of the bed.
I love that too. My mom would yell at me. No smooshing. Okay, so my story outside of The Sims and Roller Coaster Tycoon. I went to this little old thing called the Firebird Festival, and it's fun. It's in a couple towns over from here, and they literally have this giant phoenix. It's like a wooden bird. It's massive. It's literally large.
It's lit.
Literally, it is lit because then they light it on fire. I went last year and I think I went the year before. So last year there was like a bit of a blizzard, but it was cool because it was snowing. Wasn't cool when my car got stuck. But they literally light this huge thing on fire. So we go to that. We're a little bit late. It's a long freaking story. It's a long story.
You didn't tell me.
But basically, after we go to that, we go out to the bar. I'm with my friend Gabby. Hey, Gabby, if you're listening. And one of her friends, Jo, she cut, like, I haven't seen her since maybe last summer.
Did she glow the fuck up?
She did.
I love that.
But also she cut all her hair off and like made it bleach blonde, and she looks,
dude, I'm telling you, blonde is where it's at.
She looks like Hayden Panettiere from Scream 4.
Wow,
like that.
Yes.
So, and she was wearing a hat that made her look like even more like her. So we're sitting around, I'm with like her, and then there's literally like a handful of other people I don't know, but I'm the type of person, especially at alcohol, and I get along with everybody.
Sure are.
Like I will just converse up and down what's good. So we're sitting at this table and this dude comes up and he's with this other guy. I don't know if it was his dad or like if it was brother or something, but I knew that the one guy owned a bar somewhere around yonder. So I was like, ooh, he got many handy.
Oh, you're trying to get in with the bartender.
The bar owner.
Yeah.
So the other dude who was there, nice guy. I don't know why I did this. Oh, why do I do this?
Why did you do that?
So I tell him that the girl is actually Hayden Panettiere. And
that sounds like you were definitely drunk.
Homeboy, I wasn't even that drunk. This was like when I stopped drinking to sober up.
Oh, shit.
So homeboy believed it. I have to show you the video. I'm going to pull it up right now. He was asking to take pictures.
Shut the fuck up.
He was sneaking pictures from across the bar. And he was like,
not funny.
He was like, oh my God, I loved Remember the Titans. Like, this is crazy. What are you doing here? And she like, she went along with it. She was just like, yeah, I'm on a break. We were filming Nashville. I don't even know if Nashville is still, I didn't even know she was in Nashville.
Wait, this man's going to be heartbroken if this ever gets to him.
You guys, nobody tell him. Like, if you guys tell him,
please don't ruin this man's dream.
He's gonna cut your dick off.
It's gonna be the equivalent of like telling a child Santa doesn't exist.
I'm bleeping that out because 'tis the season, you bitch. Hold on. Oh my God, did I delete the video?
You probably did, you bitch.
I deleted but I deleted it today. It's in my recently deleted 325. Oh, they're all my nudes.
Nerds.
I got 324 nerds. If you want some, odditiespodcast@gmail.com.
Can I
Where
eat some
is
Twizzlers?
It? ASMR, baby. Oh my God, look, here, look.
I can't.
Doesn't she look like her?
Yes,
he was also drunk. He wanted a picture, so then I kind of felt bad, but look at the look she gives me at the end. She's like, why the fuck did you set me up to do this? Because she was like feeling it as a joke, but then the joke went on a little too long when he was like pulling up her Wikipedia and he was like, you were in Scream 4. Hayden, we loved you in Scream 4 if you're listening to this.
Please come back.
What is she up to? Does she have a kid? She has to have a kid by now. I'm going to look it up right now. You guys, do not fret. All right. She is 29 years old.
No kid.
She does have a child. Oh. Her name is Kaya. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that middle name.
Do it.
Wait, I'm confused. Oh, it's her stepdaughter? Oh my God, I'm confused. Oh, they split up? Y'all, I wish I gave a fuck enough to look this up. I am not Perez Hilton. I'm sure he has a podcast. Is he still alive?
Yeah, like what's up with him? I feel like...
I don't know, but Blake Lively is trending, and I love that for her.
Yeah.
I hate us. We're sorry fucking annoying people came here to hear about Chrismysteries.
This is the mystery. Why do we care so much?
Okay, so you said you had some things you wanted to share.
Oh my God, yeah. So like, all right. I was surfing the inters of net and I stumbled across this fucked up thing. Have you ever heard of the Momo challenge?
Yeah. I think. Right, where you text that number and it's that girl who looks like the bird.
Yes. This is bizarre. I mean, it happened in August, but like, what the fuck?
I know.
A girl like committed suicide because of the game.
Oh, I thought it was a hoax. Did a girl like actually?
Yeah, in Argentina.
Oh my.
And it's like a big thing in Argentina.
So for everybody who's not listening, explain like what it is, whether it's a hoax or not.
Okay, so it's a disturbing challenge. It begins when a person contacts Momo on WhatsApp. Don't try it. That's
I don't have WhatsApp.
Then this Momo later threatens to curse you if you don't respond and sends you like terrifying tasks to do. And if you fail to do the task, basically like you die.
Oh, see, I didn't know that part of the story. I thought that they just sent fucked up pictures. Like I thought whoever Momo was going to send you like brutally like disturbing pictures that they found on like the dark web.
No, and then so it's people think that the person behind it is also the person behind that whale game. So she basically threatens you into obeying tasks and hurting yourself.
Do people actually do this?
I would assume if you give children anything in 2018, they run with it.
You're right. What was Tide Pods? What was that?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy to me.
Did you see the picture of Momo?
Yeah, I have it right here.
Didn't I send that to you? I sent that to you in August when I found it. And everybody was freaking out because I sent it to, like, everybody.
My coworker was freaking out about it today.
Oh, I typed in Hayden Panettiere Momo. Nothing came up. Yeah, if you guys look up Momo. But
so, basically, a 12-year-old girl committed suicide in the district of Escobar in the town of Indihuera. Her death may be connected to the challenge. This is a report from Fox News.
Oh, God. A reliable source of info.
I'm not going to tell you how she did it, but she filmed her activities on her phone.
Something about the picture of Momo is fucking horrifying.
Well, you know it's from like a Japanese sculpture.
Yeah, where it's like a bird.
Yeah, which is...
But still.
Yeah, like why would you do that? And that's the Momo challenge, and I just think that's really bizarre that things are like that.
Dude, there's weird shit in the world, and I hope that it had nothing to do with the game, and that's fucked up that happened. But wow, let's talk. Well, what did they have like when we were younger? They didn't really have. They had Bloody Mary.
No.
They Bloody Mary, and I remember Blue Baby.
But nothing actually really happened. I feel like these are so interactive now.
Because there's phones involved. Do people? I don't think if you text a number, I feel like you're not going to get something back.
That's why I told. See,
or you might get like an automated thing. You know, I'm about to download that app.
I already know. I told you not to. I feel like it's gonna be like. Did you ever see the movie Dark Web?
No.
You should watch it.
Okay.
It's a really good movie. I watched it when I woke up at 6 a.m. one time because I couldn't sleep anymore.
What a great movie to watch when you can't sleep.
I'm saying.
I watched Gerald's Game again. Great movie. Okay, let's talk about Christmas movies, baby. Before we jump into these Chrismysteries, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Let's get into the Christmas spirit. Wait, let me guess.
I think we already talked about this. You can't guess.
Why?
Okay, go.
Because I don't know if we talked about it or not. Is it the claymation Rudolph?
Yes, you're so annoying.
Why?
Because we talked about it. It's all those fucking claymation movies.
They're fun. I had the polka dotted elephant from the Island of Misfit Toys. All I wanted from my parents was like a little polka dotted elephant. And somehow before you could buy shit on eBay, before Amazon, somehow my parents found one. It took them like 2 years to do, but
so cute.
I know, they always seem to do that.
Dedicated.
Also, one year, oh my God, this used to be embarrassing. It probably is embarrassing, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck. For the longest time, I kept telling my parents and I kept asking Santa, all I wanted for Christmas was this toy. And it was like a mouse on wheels. Guess what it ended up being?
What?
A fucking cat toy. And
what? Wait, explain this to me again.
It was a mouse on wheels that like would spin around that cats play with, but I didn't know it was a cat toy.
And you thought,
because my grandparents used to have one.
I love that for you.
And I was like, all I want is like a cat on wheels. My parents are like, what the fuck is this new cat on wheels?
We can't find it anywhere. We keep asking our other friends with kids. They don't know what it is.
Mind you, use
a
that
cat
fucking Petco card. You can get it.
You were probably like a really, really just easy to please child.
Literally that vine of the kid who goes an avocado thanks.
That's you.
Me.
An avocado. Thanks.
Actually, on my hard drive in my bag right here, I have a home video from 1996 Christmas morning where I open up a present and it's a cardboard box. And I literally thought it was just a cardboard box.
And you said,
and I was so hyped. I was like, bah! And I was like, what, like 2? And I was, oh my God. And I had my little lisp and like my allergies. So I kind of sounded like.
I'm going to cry. Please stop. I've had a really rough week. You're not making it easy.
I was like, a box. Oh my God.
Oh my God, a box.
Oh God! One Christmas they got me this like desk that has
I
like.
think I was a brat.
Oh, I was definitely a brat, but this was before that.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was too. Before that.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. There was like this desk. It was like an art desk, and it had like this little spinny thing, and you could stick your markers in it. And there was like a little light up thing. So you
oh
could,
my
like,
God, I remember those.
Yeah.
It was like the little. Ones.
Yeah. So I had that, and I think for the first like month, I didn't touch that. I played in the box. Like I made a little house. I made a kitchen. Played with my little mouse on wheels.
Do you remember Light Bright?
I do remember Light Bright.
I love that.
I used to stick the pieces up my nose. None of them got lodged, thankfully. Did anything get stuck up your nose as a kid?
I got a hot tamale stuck up there, and my mom was so pissed. I feel like
I
every
can hear
time.
your mom. Now, Sarah, why did you? I hope it smells nice, Sarah. Whoa, it was like she was in the room. Holy shit. Is that not what she did? I'm sure. Your father's gonna get a load of this.
When I got a kidney stone for the first time, she wouldn't take me to the hospital.
Oh no, that's horrible.
She listens to this. Stop.
You brought it up. Love you, Mom.
Because she thought I was faking it. But then, because I couldn't take a shower. Like, I could not shower. Everything hurt. So I was, like, in a ball. And then when she was about to take me to school, I was still in a ball. I remember driving up to the school and looping right back around.
You're like, whoop-de-doop. Oh, no. Did you have to pee into a colander?
Yeah. I, like, got kidney stones like 6 times. And each time,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, each time I would have to stay overnight in the hospital. It was the worst. I was like in the hospital a lot in high school.
Oh, I hate that for you.
Thanks. Oh my God, you're such a good friend.
I know.
Okay.
What was your favorite Christmas present you got? I would have to think about this. I didn't really think about this one.
Like you just caught me off guard. I don't know because I don't remember half of my life.
I did black out for a while there.
I don't remember anything.
It's fun now as adults where it's like...
That's why I'm telling you, that's why I take so many videos. I have a terrible memory.
I have a good long-term memory. Like, I can remember that shit of me, like, those Christmases.
Yeah.
But I can't really remember what happened today.
I couldn't even tell you what I did last Monday.
Well, I think it's also because our brain really picks and chooses what's important and not. And when you get into like a like a rhythmatic, like wake up, do this, and like you get that you go to work, you don't really remember everything that happens.
I don't want to remember that fucking plate.
But there's like, I don't know. Also, my life has been kind of episodic in a way that like... Ooh. I just farted. In a way that like I went to this school for like 1 year. I went to this school for 1 year, and I like remember each of those schools and what happened at them.
Well,
and
yeah,
then
I feel like
moved.
that's like a new event, so it's like
yeah. And then I went to like
I remember when I moved here.
7 different fucking schools, and then so
I love you a lot.
I love you too. Yeah. So how did we get here? This is Chrismysteries, and that's the mystery.
Yep, we're just babbling on.
Babble blabble.
I guess I thought that Momo challenging was going to go a lot like lengthier because I didn't know that you knew about it.
Well, I knew about it, but also because I follow this one girl on YouTube who like explained it, and she went way too in depth for it, like to the point where I was getting bored. But I think
you're fucking boring.
I thought it was one of those internet hoax things where it's like you hear about it.
It was real.
No, it's not. It itself is a hoax. Like that Momo person is clearly a statue.
I know, it's someone else.
I don't know if it's someone else though.
They just put that statue as a face for her.
I feel like okay.
But there's someone on WhatsApp posing.
Here's what probably happened. It started as a hoax. Like that shit never happened. It was like an online story, an internet story, and then stupid fucking tweens these days. Sorry if you're listening and you are a stupid teen. Took it like went in and like think about it. There has to be somebody who's like, oh yeah, I'm Momo, and like logging on their WhatsApp, and they're just like everyone at the school is like texting, and nobody knows that it's fucking Jocelyn in the back of the classroom texting under her goddamn desk.
That's very Gossip Girl.
I know. She got fucking
the whole time. Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna have to bleep so much in this episode, and we're
sorry.
not even 20 minutes in. Oh god, who goes first? It is. I think I go first. Girl, I can hear you slip slopping all that Twizzler in there.
It's ASMR.
No, it's not. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go first, so you have time to like chew.
I'm done. I think I went first.
Yeah, it's my turn to go first now. It's my turn now.
I literally make jokes like that all the time, and no one fucking gets it.
For those of you guys who don't get it, watch Goosebumps, The Haunted Mask, and Carly Beth. Like, she goes crazy. She counts out her money to go buy a mask, and she looks in the mirror and she brushes her hair viciously, and she goes, "It's my turn now." So
remember
like,
I sent you that video?
yes, and I fucking lost it. See, I think that might just be like a joke that just you and me think are funny, because the whole like Carly breath thing, like people don't think it's funny. It's hilarious.
She goes crazy in that thing.
She went nuts.
Like
nuts
those
butts.
Voices she was making when she had the mask on.
She could have went places.
I'm singing. Now she's a dance teacher.
A ballet teacher. I love how we know that. Also, her name was Catherine Short and the other girl's name was Catherine Long.
I think that's really bizarre. You loved that though.
I think it's a fun little woo.
Sarah Short and Sarah Long.
Yeah. No. Catherine.
I know, but I think
oh, you were saying it for yourself?
Like,
no, it's Catherine.
Yeah, I know, but I remember the one time you were like Sarah Short and Sarah Long. It must have been another movie.
It must have been another friend.
Gas, you're my only friend. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're right. Okay, are you ready for this? Fucking
He's not
mystery.
my only friend. I have friends.
I have friends, but if you're looking for a friend, odditiespodcast@gmail.com. Okay, so this mystery I had never fucking heard of.
Oh my god, let me hear it.
I heard about it probably in the spring, and I literally tucked it away in my tight little ass, and I said I'm gonna bring this shit around on Christmas, and here we sit, and here I shit. So this is the mystery of the missing postman of Stradbelly.
Whoa, Stradbelly, that sounds spooky.
So I'm gonna give a little bit of a history here, and then I'm going to dive into what happened. And I'm not going to say it might be confusing, because then it's going to be confusing, but I'm going to name drop a lot of people, but there's a freaking reason. Okay, so Larry Griffin was born in Waterford, Ireland in 1880. He was a soldier in the British Army and had seen service in South Africa and France during the Great War from 1899 until 1907, serving British India. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So in 1907, he married Mary Fitzgerald. Larry rejoined the army at the start of World War I, but was discharged on June 3rd, 1916 due to injuries. So, what are his injuries, you're asking? I'm glad you asked. So, his arm had been permanently damaged, not exactly sure how.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, a mystery. Part of his ear was missing.
Yikes.
And he lost several teeth. So, my assumption is that it was possibly an explosive attack, like maybe a bomb. It could have been like an accident or something.
True.
Darn quite gnarly, but he was permanently fucked up from that. So there's that. And discharged. I hate that word, but there I said it. For his service, he was awarded both the British War Medal and the Victory Medal in 1918 at the age of 38. After his discharge, Larry got a job as a postman. So by this time, he had children. I'm not 100% sure like how many he had or what happened to the ones he had, but one article says that he had 4 kids. One article says he has 3 kids. Another article says he has...
I hate that.
Another article said he had 2 surviving kids.
I'm like, which one is it?
So I have a feeling that maybe he had 4 kids at one point. Something happened and then there were 2 that were survived. I don't know exactly.
That makes sense.
Any huevos. But I feel like if it was that situation, like it would have been somewhere that his kids like died.
That's true.
But I digress. So in 1929, Larry, his wife Mary, and his 2 surviving children were living in Kilmacthomas, which is a small town in the southeast of Ireland. I looked up how many Irish listeners we have, and we do have quite a handful. So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry if I ever butchered anything that made people feel
some type of way. Well,
yeah,
we're trying.
Really bad.
We're just 2 girls here with 2 microphones.
Trying to make it
in a world and entertain ye. So I'm going to call it Kilmac because that's what they call it there. And, you know, when in Rome, call it Kilmac. So Larry's postal round covered the village of Stradbelly. S-T-R-E-D.
I feel like you started spelling esoteric.
No.
O-D-D-I-T.
I'm going to bed. So I'm not going to spell that for you. You can Google it. Thanks.
I'm locking off.
So basically... where he had his postal rounds was 8 miles away from Kilmac. So back then, delivering mail on Christmas Day was part of a postman's duties. And people would often give them gifts. They would give them cookies, bread, alcohol, oftentimes invite them in for dinner, which I saw 2 stories. One story said he went to 2 different houses for dinner. Another story said that he didn't. So
eat bread and get all fat and sassy.
Something like that. So, okay. So here we are. Here we are on Christmas Day. You wake up. Oh, Santa came.
Oh, Santa.
Santa came down my chimney. We don't have a chimney here. I don't know how he's going to get in. He didn't have an issue last year.
He's going to suffocate.
So on Christmas Day, 1929, Larry began delivering mail on his normal route in Stradbally. I don't think I'm saying that right. Stradbally. I think it's Stradbally. Stradbally. On his bicycle. So
You're just saying it over and over.
I am. I just want to reiterate that his mode of transportation was a bicycle because that's pretty much what they used back then, 1929. Look it up. So hours passed, the night came, and Larry had not yet returned home. So Mary, his wife, again, just assumed that, he had gone out to visit some friends in the area, probably after work, had some Christmas cheer, he's a busy girl. He's been delivering mail all day. He just wants to crack a cold one with the boys on this, our Lord's Day. Who am I?
I don't know.
So, okay, so she just assumed he had too many drinks and he would return the next morning. But the next morning, which is actually St. Stephen's Day in Ireland, at 7:30 a.m., a local farmer found Larry's bike on the side of the road about a mile away from Stradbally Village. I have not had a drop of alcohol. That's a lie. I had a sip of that wine and it fricked me up. Sarah gave me spiced apple wine.
He hates it. You're not a sweet person.
Bitch, fuck off.
I mean, you're like sweet, but you don't like sweet stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a savory bitch. You're going to want to save me for later. You guys, it's been a day. I'm sorry. It's 9:17 p.m. I literally don't have an excuse, though. So at 7:30 a.m., this is serious. Now let's get serious. 7:30 a.m., a local farmer finds Larry's bike on the side of the road about a mile from Stradbally Village, which is the town that he was delivering mail in. So something didn't seem right. So this man notified local police and an investigation began, headed by, I'm going to name drop my first guy, Chief Superintendent Harry O'Mara. So O'Mara is the first dude who's on this case.
You know what I think is always so confusing for me? I don't see it, so it's very hard for me to keep up with the names.
Right.
I don't see it.
And I get that because when I'm listening to podcasts, I feel that way.
Yeah,
so,
like you drift off, right?
But also, I feel like I repeat myself sometimes. Like, I think it was the last episode where I said, like, where I talked about Megan Hauserman, but I didn't want anybody to confuse it, even though there was only 3 characters in my
got
story.
the name wrong in mine. I
was like, Megan Hauserman.
I said David and something else.
I don't know if that was the last episode or the one before, but I know what you're talking about. But I'm going to try my best to keep these people in line for you, because there are going to be a lot of parties involved and all are important. So O'Mara then appointed 2 other superintendents and 2 detectives to assist him with the investigation. So while questioning locals, a 16-year-old boy named John Power told the police, they're not the police, I think they're the Garda, but I'm just going to call them the police. Cool. So I'm sorry, Ireland. I have a ginger beard, so I don't know what to tell you. So this dude, John Power, 16 years old, says he saw Larry Griffin with Garda Edward Duella. He's going to come up again. So that was a police officer who was with Larry, the postman. My brother's upstairs, probably dropping a big old deuce.
I love that. Deuce.
So John Power tells investigators he saw Larry and Officer Edward Duella enter Whelan's pub at 6:30 p.m. on Christmas Day through a back door. Sketchy or not? So
very sketchy.
Back in 1929, when this happened, it was actually illegal for Ireland for pubs and bars in Ireland to serve alcohol on Christmas Day.
Really?
Yeah, and I believe
Is it still?
No. And this was a law that had just been implemented maybe like 5 years prior. So everybody thought it was bullshit. Also, get this shit. It was illegal for them to drink on St. Patrick's Day back then.
Shut up. Wait, when was this? The 80s?
The 80s. Girl, this was 1929. If you weren't checking your MySpace over there. Okay, yeah. So that's important. It's illegal for this bar that they're seen going to be serving alcohol. That's going to be a key role in this mystery. So this local guy, police were talking to, say that Larry this is a different dude. I don't think I named him because he was not important. So just called the people who are not important guys or girls.
I do that.
Remember
when I like someone, I call them boy. That boy.
I do that. No, because I'm going to be name dropping, so I don't want to confuse.
That's
so
true.
I'm going to stop fucking explaining myself for the love of God. So this local guy police were talking to says that Larry was incredibly drunk and was being assisted by Officer Edward Duella. The man also saw Edward Farley and a Sergeant Caliente. Is unpronounceable. Also entered the back door as well. So basically, this postman and 1, 2, 3 law officials.
I love it.
Are a little tipsy. Well, they said Larry's incredibly drunk, and the other men who are officers were drunk as well, going into a bar where it's illegal to drink and serve alcohol on Christmas Day. Ooh, ooh. Are we here? We're here. So John Power, the 16-year-old, himself went inside the pub and saw a number of people he knew, including Ned Morrissey, who was an unofficial boxer, James Fitzgerald, and James Fitzgerald. Sorry, that was it.
And James Fitzgerald, that was it.
And both of those men were illegally drinking because the bar was serving them alcohol illegally. Later, another witness would give investigators a similar account, naming the same people. That other witness, I'm not going to name, but just know that his story, John Powers, the 16-year-old, is backed up by 2 other people.
Right.
So then O'Mara and the investigation team interviewed all the police based in Stradbally. So they were just like, something the fuck is up. What was going on here? I heard the police were drinking on Christmas Day, and I won't have it. I simply will not. But statements that were from these guys were, quote, unsatisfactory and even contradictory. So I read their fucking statements, and it was so confusing. They were just like, well, I saw him, but he wasn't drunk, like referring to Larry.
Right.
And then other people were like, well, I wasn't with him, but like I know he probably was drunk. And then they would they would take their story back and be like, no. Now that I think about it, I didn't see him actually. And they're just like,
together.
Seriously, what the frick's going on? So Officer Edward Duella, who supposedly assisted Larry into the pub through the back door, acknowledged that he in fact did meet with his friend Larry Griffin, the postman, that evening, but insisted that Larry was not drunk. Duella then said he accompanied Larry out the Kilmac Road about 100 yards and then returned to the village. So this officer is saying in Stradbally, where he delivers mail, he's saying, I walked Larry. We were just talking, Christmas talk.
Just talking.
And I walked him till this street. It was Kilmac Road. And it was pretty much one of the only roads, if not the only road, that went from that town to Kilmac Thomas, where he lived. So he was just like, yeah, I walked him 100 yards and I never saw him again. And then he denied, as did all the other police officers, being in Whelan's pub that day. So all the cops now are just like, no, we weren't even there. What the frick is this 16-year-old boy talking about? And those 2 other people that I didn't name. What's going on here? So then investigators questioned some people that John Power said he saw, starting with James Fitzgerald. So this dude's going to be a huge key role in this story. John Powers, thank you. Exit stage left. Your time here was great. You're 16. You have a life ahead of you. He's probably dead now. I hope he's not. I hope he's doing well. But 16 in 1929, you were old ass head.
I think he's done.
Yeah, but you said the past 2 people were dead and they weren't. I looked them up. The dude who won the lottery was alive, and then I think... Oh, that other dude. The dude from the Starved Rock, he's still kicking. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he's alive, maybe he's not. I don't know. So James Fitzgerald. Some call him Jim. We're going to call him James. That's what his mom would have wanted. So Fitzgerald told investigators that when he entered Whelan's pub with Tommy Corbett and Officer Jim Murphy and Patrick Cunningham at about 6:30 that Christmas Day. So that's when they were hanging out at the pub. What it do. So Fitzgerald named a large number of people, all locals, who were in the pub, including Thomas Cashin, who was a local teacher. Again, Ned Morrissey, the unofficial boxer. And at some point, Larry Griffin, the postman who's missing, dropped 3 half-crowns, which Ned Morrissey picked up and decided to buy a round of drinks with them. Because
what's a half-crown?
Currency at the time. Oh. So this allegedly caused an argument between Ned the boxer and Larry the postman. So the argument escalated and turned physical with some pushing and shoving. At some point, allegedly, Larry Griffin, the postman, fell and hit his head on a stove that was in this pub. So according to information police gathered, the pub owner, Paddy Whelan, became outraged and accused Ned Morrissey of, quote, killing the man in my house, end quote. So Ned Morrissey assured Whelan, the bar owner, that everything would be fine, saying, quote, "We'll take Larry away and nobody will know about it," end quote. So I'm saying these quotes that are not for sure quotes from out of this dude's mouth, because these are claims that other people are making. So this is the alleged story of what happened, and it'll make sense in a second. Oh, I wrote allegedly. Ned Morrissey, the boxer, Paddy Whelan, the dude who owns the pub, and Thomas Cashin, the teacher, and George Cummings, which is another local, put Larry Griffin's body in the back of Thomas Cashin's car. So something to note here that I feel might be important, but I don't know. It just mentioned it in every fucking article I read. It said that Thomas Cashin, the teacher, his car was the only one in the village. 1929, I don't know. So supposedly, Morrissey accompanied Cashin, and the two of them went off in the car, and the body was disposed of. So that's what allegedly happened, and now nobody really knows what really happened. So throughout this investigation, the Whelans, again, the family that owned the pub, known as Whelan's Pub, later denied that anyone was in the pub on Christmas Day. They were like, no, nobody was even here. Fraud ass bitches.
How was nobody there?
I know, they don't.
Like, not one single person?
Well, they weren't supposed to be open.
Better.
It's Christmas. They're not supposed to be open on Christmas.
I know, but it's like, we all know what's going on.
Yeah, so not a single one of the names I dropped, they say, were there. They were like, nope, nobody, not a single one. And investigators looked into the stove, which Larry had allegedly hit his head on and killed him. And it had not been cleaned because there was like food grease on it. But there was also no human blood found on it. Also 1929. Did they really look?
You can't. Yeah.
So somehow Thomas Cashin, the teacher with the only car in town who allegedly disposed of Larry the postman's body, was never asked by investigators to make a statement and never volunteered one, but his wife did, and gave pretty much an airtight alibi, or so he thought. So then there's this guy, General Owen O'Duffy. This dude is a douchebag. So we got O'Mara, who's running the show right now, and then we got O'Duffy. Tuffy O'Duffy, as I call him.
Oh.
He steps in and he's like, I picture him as like puffing out his chest, and he's like that dude at the bar that's like, I bet you I can throw this ice cube at that woman in a wheelchair over there. True story. That happened to Mark when we went out on Thanksgiving Eve, and I told him it was my birthday so I could get up on stage and everybody sang to me because I crave attention.
Okay.
So anyway, O'Duffy was the commissioner of the Irish police force, and he took personal charge and supervision over the investigation. So under his jurisdiction, every Stradbally police officer was transferred. So remember, a lot of the officers that were there that day gave conflicting accounts. I mean, okay, so 1, they were illegally drinking while in uniform, while on the job. 2, none of their stories lined up. So even if they weren't drinking, they weren't being truthful, and they knew like something was up. And then 3, it was possible that Ned the boxer Morrissey didn't kill Larry Griffin, but maybe an officer did. But they don't have a body now, so they're thinking maybe he's still alive, but the officers know something about it. So on January 24th, 1930, Thomas Cashin, again the teacher, and Ned Morrissey, the boxer, the 2 men who drove off in the car, and you get it, they were arrested. So they were charged with the murder and disposing of the body of Larry Griffin. So Thomas Cashin replied to the charges saying, I was not out of my house after 4 p.m. that day. So both Cashin and Morrissey denied any involvement in the murder, as you would expect. So on January 26th and 27th, the entire Whelan family was also arrested. Like, I'm talking like the owner, the owner's wife, the kids, all of them.
Damn.
Who were of age. Yeah, like all of them.
No remorse.
George Cummings and Patrick Cunningham were also arrested. I haven't really gotten into details about them. So on January 4th, 1930, Officer Edward, I'm going back a little bit. Let's take a little tiptoe back, shall we, baby? Officer Edward Duella and Officer Jim Murphy were also arrested and charged with the murder and conspiracy to dispose of a dead body to obstruct or prevent a coroner's inquest from being held. Again, they denied the charges. So James Fitzgerald, who had named everyone in the pub that day, was regarded as the most important witness for the state. Remember, we still have no idea where Larry is. We don't even know if he's dead. He's just MIA.
Larry?
We don't know. We just have this he said, she said story about
And then a bunch
he
of people
fell,
in jail.
he hit his head, he died, they took his body, they left. And it looks really bad on everybody's part because they were illegally drinking on Christmas Day.
In a closed bar.
Yes. So, this James Fitzgerald guy was put into some kind of police protection program, which I guess at the time was unheard of. It's also important to note that this whole story about Morrissey and Cashin taking Larry's body off and disposing of it, Fitzgerald was pretty much the only person who told this story to the police. Keep that in mind that I just said. James Fitzgerald, this story that all these arrests and shit are based around, he was pretty much the only person who said this to the police, at least. So it doesn't make it a lie. I'm just saying he's the one who brought all of these accusations up, resulting in Morrissey and Cashin's arrest. So with these men and women in custody and their key witness, Fitzgerald, in protection, the investigation continued. So they searched for Larry Griffin's body, and that shit, they say, was like intense. They said there was a whole lot of searches going on. They searched everywhere they could in Stradbally and the surrounding area, including abandoned copper mine shafts, but they found nothing. They even dug up every new grave plot in the area and snuck a little peek at the bodies. But Larry Griffin's body was still missing. So all the police who served at Stradbally when the murder occurred were taken to Garda headquarters in Dublin. So O'Duffy and his staff, his interrogation team, they basically were going to interrogate each of them individually in hopes that one of them would crack, because they were like, well, all these fucking people were clearly there, and that one of them has to know something and one of them has to crack. There's got to be a weak link here.
There's always the weak link.
Heard that. So while these intense interrogations happened, Chief Superintendent Harry O'Mara, remember the first dude who was on this case, he was there. So he didn't interrogate anybody, but he was there. So he was witnessing like O'Duffy and his intense ways of interrogating people. So O'Mara later gave a statement regarding O'Duffy's interrogation tactics and the Stradbally police in question. Quote, "They were questioned, coerced, abused, and a round ebony stick was brought into play in such a cruel manner that the yells could be heard in the nearby Phoenix Park." So clearly this dude was like cracking a stick on these guys, trying to get them to talk just to move the case somewhere. So O'Duffy said, quote, "I promised them with promotion if they assisted and with dismissal and murder charges if they didn't." But none of the officers were talking. So basically, you know something and you'll get a promotion, but you'll probably get arrested, or you're going to get fired and you're going to go to jail if you don't know anything. So like if any of these people honestly didn't know anything, not a good place to be here. Tuffy O'Duffy.
They don't care.
No, they don't. So at this point, O'Duffy really didn't know where to go because these dudes weren't fucking cracking. And I think he was all talk. He couldn't really actually do anything with them. So
I feel like they probably knew that.
Maybe, I don't know. The dude was scary. So they couldn't find Larry's body and no one was fucking talking. So O'Duffy goes to the Bishop of Waterford. So remember, it's 1929 in hello religious Ireland, and O'Duffy asks the bishop to address the Sunday Mass congregation in Stradbally, looking for any information of anyone who might, have information. What am I saying? You get it. He was like, "Hey, bishop, when you go up there in front of everybody,
let me know.
Can you just ask if anybody has any information on Larry, his whereabouts, or where his body might be?" So the bishop was like, "Hell no."
Hell no.
But then O'Duffy, I don't know, convinced him, hit him with a stick, slid him fucking 15 shillings in a Kit Kat. I don't know, because the bishop, after apparently days of questioning, said yes. Not a shilling. What does Ireland have? Gold doubloons? I don't know. That's probably triggering. I'm sorry. I loved Lucky Charms. They were my favorite. I literally
don't know anything.
You know a lot. So the bishop talks to the congregation that Sunday, and a nun stepped forward telling O'Duffy that she knew a man who knew the details of what really happened That Christmas Day. So his name was Tommy Corbett. I named him before. And it was also someone that James Fitzgerald had told investigators that he entered the pub with that day, along with Officer Jim Murphy and Patrick Cunningham around 6:30 p.m. Christmas Day, Whelan's Pub. Just so we're all on the same page. So without delay, O'Duffy got his interrogation team together and told them, quote, I want you to get it out of Corbett one way or another. So on February 7th, 1930, all 10 defendants appeared before a judge in Waterford District Court. The main witness for the state was James Fitzgerald, and the prosecution case rested almost entirely on the evidence that he would give. So they're really not going on much of anything, but times were different, and it was also in Ireland. So the dude prosecuting on behalf of the state realized that I left him nameless because no disrespect, but like I don't need another name in this fucking pot of gumbo that has so many names in it. So this dude who was prosecuting, hello. So this dude who was prostituting. Oh my God. Hi, how are you?
We love that.
It's Christmas morning. So the dude prosecuting on behalf of the state realized that James Fitzgerald was deviating seriously in the evidence he was giving from that contained in a statement by police. So basically he was saying in front of a judge in court, everything he was saying to the judge differed from what he had on police files. And that was no bueno. Absolutely not. So because of this, they adjourned until February 21st, 1930. So then the case adjourned once more to March 7th, 1930, because they were just like, they kept pushing off. They were like, well, we need more things. We need more things. We need more time. We need more things. Meanwhile, nobody's seen Larry in almost, I guess it's only been 2 months, but nobody knows what's going on with it. So essentially, James Fitzgerald was probably scared. He knew that the evidence he was about to give under oath had the potential to send his friends to jail for life or even sentence them to hang.
Ooh.
So fear took the place of confidence and composure, and Fitzgerald failed to deliver. And with his failure, there went the state's case. So that court, which by the way was fucking packed because this whole ordeal of this missing postman had blown up massively in Ireland. So the dude prosecuting on behalf of the state told the judge that he had sought the adjournments in the hope that Larry Griffin's body would be found. And since the body had not been found, he informed the court that the charges against all the accused had to be withdrawn. They had nothing. So on a charge of murder, the fact of death had to be proved with circumstantial evidence, whether the body had been found or not, but there have to be no grounds for reasonable doubt. So in court, to constitute murder, the killing must be committed with malice aforethought. Aforethought. I'm so sorry. Just to note that aforethought did not necessarily mean premeditation, but it implies that foresight. So basically, you get in a situation, you're in a fight with this dude, right? So you already have started the fight, and you're like, I have the power to hit this dude hard enough that he might hit his head and he might fucking die. So that's like a forethought.
Thanks for explaining that.
You're welcome. Well, just because I didn't want it to be mixed up with premeditation, where the dude, Ned, would have been like, I'm going to go to this bar and I'm going to kill Larry. That would be like premeditation. So. Right. Two different things for you and your ugly friends to think about. The killing of Larry Griffin could not have been intentional or with malice aforethought. It was simply an altercation between drunken men at a pub on Christmas Day, and as I said before, the people in the pub were drinking illegally, and the bar was filled with police officers, a teacher, and numerous locals. So basically, whatever happened caused alcohol-infused panic rather than common sense. So if like a dude drops dead and everybody's drunk, they're just like, nobody has their right head on. So they're just like, well, fuck, what do we do? Right. If that even happened.
Let's chop him up and bury him.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't look good for any of them to be there. And then you add death, accidental or not, and this shit's going to blow up, which obviously it did. So they all made a pact, probably to keep their lips sealed, and they did. So it was acknowledged that many that were present in the pub that day knew where, when, and how Larry Griffin's body was disposed of. The murder charges were dropped, and the 10 people walked free because they didn't have anything on them. Super Nintendo, Hello. Superintendent Hunt was appointed by O'Duffy to continue the investigation. So now these people are free. O'Duffy's like, you there, Super Nintendo Hunt. You continue this investigation. So he took the reputation as a hard man, and he was supposedly successful in most investigations that he took charge of. So locals did not like this Hunt dude, and James Fitzgerald became Hunt's main target. So Hunt brought him numerous times to a pub in Kilmac, not the same one, not Whelan's pub. Different pub, different town. It's the town where the postman is from. Larry the postman is from Kilmac.
Hey, Mr. Postman.
Knock that off. So he would literally, this Hunt dude investigating would buy Fitzgerald drink after drink after drink after drink in an attempt to get him fucked up and have him say he was forced to sign his statement. He had like given the police originally and then contradicted in court. So he was just getting this dude drunk to try to get him to say something so he could.
I'll take it. Yeah. Get me drunk.
I don't think he did though. I think he took the drinks, but I don't think he got super wasted, and he kind of tried to keep himself level-headed. But we're going to get back to Mr. Fitzgerald, who is clearly important to this case. So on March 6th, 1930, this is all kind of happening within like a short period of time if you think about it. So O'Mara, the first dude, was informed that Super Nintendo Hunt, I'm just going to call him that, that O'Duffy, so O'Mara was told by Super Nintendo Hunt that O'Duffy was furious about allegations that police had abused and ill-threatened Tommy Corbett. So remember when they were having like the horrible interrogations that were not going too well? So then Hunt told O'Mara that Tommy was alleging that O'Duffy's interrogation team and other detectives had brought him to some cliffs and threatened him with their revolvers. Yikes. And they even took him to a mine shaft and lowered him with a rope. And they were, doing what they needed to do. So O'Mara clapped back and informed Hunt that O'Duffy himself was responsible. And he ordered his interrogation team to do his bidding and now was condemning them. So this now isn't really even about Larry. It's about
everybody
the police
else going down. It's
like the police at the top tier with the fighting with the police below them who's trying to get information out of the police from Stradbally. So it's a shit show.
Okay.
So remember, O'Duffy literally told the team, I want you to get it out of Corbett one way or another. I'm gonna get you. So O'Malley was so disgusted with the whole thing and the power-tripping egos in charge that he threatened to resign, but then he was convinced by a priest friend not to. I don't know, friends with the priest back then, I don't freaking know. So at least 20 people were said to have actually been in Whelan's pub when the murder was committed. But not one of them ever told the true and complete story of the events as they occurred on that Christmas day. And to this day, nobody knows what really happened to Larry Griffin or where his body is.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Too many names.
Exactly. But let me just talk really quick about some aftermath. So we still don't know how Larry's postman bike ended up where the farmer found it. Get this shit. Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. To me, I don't understand how other people aren't furious about this, but I read this in a couple different places that later James Fitzgerald confessed that he did not witness the death of Larry Griffin. So this dude who told the police all the shit that went down, and he was the only dude who told the police that this shit went down, he was like, actually, I didn't see it happen. I heard it third hand. He heard it from someone who heard it from someone who was in the back. I don't know. So O'Mara and O'Duffy butted heads for the next few months. Eventually, O'Duffy.
We love
Hillary O'Duffy.
I'm going to name my daughter O'Duffy.
Christ almighty. O'Duffy pulled rank when he realized he was losing this very dangerous verbal exchange, and he told O'Mara to get out or he would have him arrested. So O'Mara saluted and left the frickin' office, and he said, that's that. I'm throwing in the towel. Fuck y'all and your power-tripping egos.
I saluted to the owner of my company.
What did he do?
He said that I was there for a long time, and I said, yep, I'm a vet.
I love that. So the Whelan family, who owns the pub, later took civil proceedings against the Waterford News because the newspaper published a report on February 6, 1930, about Larry Griffin's disappearance, where they claimed that they were pretty much in on the murder, and they were awarded for it. So the investigation and the trial collapsed, and in June 2007, all files related to the disappearance of Postman Larry went public. So that's the information I fucking have. Literally don't know if any of it's true. The shit with, I'm talking about the stuff about the investigation is true, but the he said, she said about what happened on Christmas Day, who the fuck knows what happened? Also, there was a whole different story that I didn't even mention that I'm going to mention right freaking now, that there was people thought that the police were trying to cover this shit up because where the Whelan's Pub, it's actually still there today. Whelan's Pub is like right across the street from the police station. So they thought, this is a theory, that he didn't die in the pub, that he actually, the police took him over to one of their barracks, and they actually didn't have a railing that went up to the barracks. So they were just like, lay here, like rest yourself. You cannot ride a bike 8 miles home. It's cold out there. You're sloshed. Chill. We'll have eggs in the morning. So they think that he woke up in the middle of the night, Larry the postman, went to grab for a railing, fell off the stairs, snapped his neck, fucking
Yikes.
died, and the police are covering this shit up.
Yeah, but it was an accident. I would be like, there was an accident.
Yeah, but then it's implicating them drinking in the pub.
Oh, right.
Which is illegal.
They're not allowed.
So it's, I honestly, I don't know what happened.
It's a sticky situation.
It is. And also, if you ever go, especially to Whelan's Pub, like, I've heard they'll serve you there, but they don't take lightly to non-locals. It's not one of those places that prides themselves on, like, you know,
the history.
Yeah, especially that. Yeah, they're rough and tough people there who don't like when you bring this shit up. So if you're ever in Ireland, especially in that area, maybe don't bring up Larry the Postman.
Yikes.
So I think it's crazy that the one dude who got all these people arrested and shit, James, later said that he was in the pub, but he wasn't, like, they were in the back where he died was like in by the stoves, like in the fucking cooks in the kitchen.
That's what they said.
The cook's room, the kitchen, girl, get it together.
I love the cook's room. The cook's room.
Yeah, so that's what he said, and he was like, yeah, actually, I didn't see it happen. Also, what sense does that make if a guy falls and hits his head and there's 20 people in this bar? You're really going to think that every single person there is going to keep their mouth shut about this shit?
They did, though.
Unless it didn't happen that way.
Right.
We literally, we
'Cause
don't
it
know.
didn't even happen in
We
the pub,
don't know if
technically.
we don't know if that murder even happened. He could have Larry could have fucking ran away. And everybody else just had a weird, murky, sketchy story because they weren't allowed. Because they were doing something they weren't supposed to be doing. That
Right.
they would all get in a lot of fucking trouble for.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It's weird to think about that. No, and his body was never found. This was 1929. Body never found. Nobody ever knew like what happened to him after that. This shit like fucks me up. Another thing that happened on Christmas, which I'm not doing this year, is the John Benet Ramsey. But like somebody knows exactly what happened.
And they just don't say anything. I think I would crack.
It depends on what you have riding on.
That's true.
Like what's going on.
I don't know anything.
Well,
and they didn't like ever resurface this and try again. I feel like that's what happens with a lot of unsolved things.
In 2007, I don't think so. I think in 2007 they were just like, here's the papers.
Here's the papers.
I don't know. I just think I think it's crazy. I mean, it's not the United States, it's Ireland, but how they could arrest those people on those charges of like murder and shit off of one dude, his word.
Saying literally whatever. Like this man.
That was the evidence they were riding on. I think they were really grasping for straws, but at the same time, that shit happened.
Yeah, but I feel like you can't do that now.
You can't, but those arrests were made like maybe a month after this shit happened, and they all went to court by like February. I mean, of course it got pushed off till March, but like think about it, happened in December, January, February, March. Like that's a very short period of time to have a case where you literally have no fucking evidence. Like why even bother, especially if it's like huge and newspapers everywhere eating it up. That's another thing that really makes the story fucking like watered down the truth. Like you don't know what Because there's these newspapers that, like I said about the Whelan family who sued, almost every single person that I name dropped ended up suing some sort of newspaper who wrote a lie about what had happened that day because it implicated like them and that they were the murderer. And that if you don't have any proof and you're publishing this shit, this absolute rubbish,
that is illegal.
It's like worth suing over it. Yeah.
So now they're murderers and they have a lot of money.
I don't know, not quite. How many gold doubloons you got? Okay, so that's my story.
And I'm sticking to it.
So Larry, if you're out there listening from beyond the grave, send us a sign.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's the missing postman, Larry Griffin.
I want to rip my hair out.
Do it.
So it started in 1927. What is it, you ass?
What? Oh, yours is 2 years before mine.
Look at that.
We love an old Christmas tale.
Well, this is just a start. The actual occurrence didn't start until 1929.
That's when mine happened.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh my God.
So Charles Lawson and his wife Fanny and their 7 children moved to a farm in Germantown, North Carolina. It's a small town north of Winston-Salem. Another town in North Carolina.
Heard that.
So in 1924, Charles Lawson, he was a tobacco farmer, and he decided to make an unusual decision to take his wife and 7 children into town for a studio portrait. Yeah, 7 children.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Did you hear about this before?
Yeah, I don't like where it's going.
It sucks because it's not an unsolved thing.
That's okay. Chrismysteries.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So he bought new clothes for his wife and their 4 daughters and their 3 sons to wear for the photograph. And since this was so long ago, having a portrait taken was rare and slightly suspicious because the Lawsons worked as a tenant tobacco farm, and photos were a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
It literally was the equivalent of a spontaneous trip to Disneyland.
Holy shit.
Or Disney World, and this is for literally 9 people.
Can you imagine if someone's eyes were closed in that picture? I mean, right? The odds of someone's...
fuck your eyes.
Cecilia, we're going to fucking tape some googly eyes on this picture because we already paid round trip.
Right, so emptying the savings account of a middle-class family
for a picture,
like a farming family, was
right.
It was really raised as like a really suspicious thing to people.
Raised an eyebrow, I think you're trying to say.
Many people believe that Charles Lawson wanted the picture as a final legacy of his family, frozen in time.
Oh, when you find out what happened, that's pretty fucked.
I wish I could cue like the music.
Da-na-na.
So Lawson, he grew up in a sharecropping family, and he had saved money to buy a ramshackle 200-year-old farmhouse close to his brother's farm. But on the day of the photo shoot, no one apart from Charlie Lawson knew why he was spending that money.
Uh-oh, Charlie, what you got up your sleeve?
So we'll link this in the show notes, the picture. Can we do that?
Well, I can put it on Instagram too.
Yeah, it'll be there. So I'm going to explain the picture. I just don't want people to be like,
oh my God, they look so much older than they actually are.
Yeah, like it looks like 16-year-olds now.
No, but the one daughter, I thought she was like in her 40s, and it's just like 20-year-old Debbie, and I was like, oh yikes, Debbie. I mean, she's I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. So
I'm standing in the photograph. At the back are 16-year-old Arthur Lawson and his sister Mary,
who look like
literally they look like 40-year-old like couple. They
look like a 40-year-old couple. Yeah. So and Mary, it's 16 and 17.
Yep, Mary is 17 with her parents. And then Marie is staring directly into the camera. Her father, Charlie, is gazing off to the left.
Which one's Marie? Is that the one wearing white at the bottom? My cat is standing on a bag if you hear some crinkle.
Yeah, that is the one.
Oh, okay. Everyone looks so uncomfortable in this picture.
Yeah, look at that little boy. He's like sunken into his outfit.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So Mary, who is staring directly into the camera... and her father, Charlie, is gazing off with a slight smile on his face. Beside him is his wife, also looking away and holding the couple's youngest child, which is, she's 4 months old, and her name is Mary Lou. So on the seat in front of them are the younger children. James is 4, Maybelle is 7, Raymond is 2, and Carrie is 12. So that one must be Carrie in the white.
Right.
All right. Are you ready to strap on and strap in?
I think so.
On December 25th, 1929, 17-year-old Marie Rose.
This is crazy because this is the same fucking day that my story happened. The same year, the same day.
That is really
different
bizarre.
sides of the country. We didn't even plan that,
No,
folks. That's
look
what you
at
get
that.
here. We are just, call it the Titanic because we're synced. Or fucking did it. The Titanic didn't sink. Please refer to a previous episode.
True.
Well, 2 episodes ago.
So she rose early to make a Christmas cake, baking 2 layers in a separate pan and icing them, and getting ready for their family festivities on the farm. So this cake is actually like
Oh, I know about the cake.
really famous.
Yeah, it has the raisins.
Raisins.
Yeah, I know about this cake. I feel like some people might know about the cake too. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
So, sometime after the 2 middle Lawson girls, Carrie and Maybelle, left the house to go visit their aunt and uncle. But behind the tobacco barn on the property, their father, Charlie, was waiting with the shotgun. The 43-year-old...
Sorry, she likes to step on crunchy
I
things.
love that. The 43-year-old shot his daughters, bludgeoned them to finish them off, and placed their bodies inside the barn.
Oh my god, that's so okay, one to fucking...
Your own children.
Okay, he planned this.
Right.
And then he shot them, and not
And
only
then
that,
planned that picture.
but he walked over to them and bludgeoned them.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I'm not done yet. Shooting them wasn't enough. Let me keep going.
Okay.
It's just bizarre. I don't understand.
It's
the way
fucked up.
people think.
When Sarah says bizarre, she means fucked up.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
How bizarre. He then returned to the family house where his wife, Fanny, she's 37. She was sitting on the porch. Lawson shot her and then moved inside where Marie was, and her 2 younger brothers, James and Raymond, had run to hide. Charlie shot Marie and then found the 2 boys and shot them as well. Finally,
Oh
he
my god, they're so
bludgeoned
little.
baby Mary Lou,
No.
whose cause of death was a fractured skull.
Oh my god.
Later, the 7 bodies were found with their arms crossed over their chests and rocks underneath their heads. So only the oldest son, Arthur, who had been sent away by his father on an errand the night before the killing, survived. It is believed that Arthur arrived back home and called the police, and people began gathering at the Lawson home.
Wasn't he at the store? I feel like I could totally be lying because I don't really know.
Like the
I don't,
shore.
Well, I don't know this story all that well, but I feel like I've heard it or I have it in my head that he was actually out getting like ammunition
Oh shit, maybe.
from the store.
I thought you said the shore, like the beach.
No, the store.
Yeah.
Like
Got it,
purchase.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Charlie went missing, and within hours, people heard a shotgun from the woods. So Arthur and a police officer found Charlie's body and letters he had written. Footprints circled a tree, and it was later supposed that Charlie had paced before killing himself.
He's a fucking pussy ass, dumbass,
Okay.
cock sucking bitch.
Whoa.
Well, he doesn't even deserve cock sucking.
You tell him.
I fucking will.
Charlie Lawson's letters did not explain why he had carried out the bloody massacre of his own family. After the funeral at a large crowd gathering around the coffins, the Lawson house attracted hundreds of tourists. They came and saw Mary's Christmas cake on display and a souvenir of the massacre that was kept under glass after visitors stole some of its raisins.
Yeah, the raisins.
Like, what the fuck?
So, yeah.
I have a raisin from the
Everybody wants a
Lawson house.
piece.
That's
Everybody
just, like,
wants a piece.
please let these people rest.
Stop stealing the raisins. They're not expensive. Head on over to the Quickie Mart.
I love that. So in 1945, Arthur Lawson was killed in a motorcycle accident, leaving a wife and 4 children. It wasn't until 1990 that a book about the massacre was published, and a cousin of the Lawson children told a 60-year-old secret. Do you know this?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Stella Lawson Bowles confessed she had overheard her mother and other Lawson women talking at the funeral about how Fanny had confided in them.
Was she pregnant?
She had discovered incest in her family before Christmas.
Oh.
Fanny Lawson had since
Oh no.
hushed the rumors about the relationship between her husband, Charlie, and 17-year-old Mary.
Oh, no. Okay. I don't think I remember that part.
It also emerged that weeks before the fateful Christmas, Mary had shared a secret with her friend Ella Mae Johnson. At a sleepover, Mary had told Ella Mae that she was pregnant with her father Charlie's baby and that both of her parents knew about the pregnancy. Another story from the Lawson family's neighbor, Sam Hill, was that Charlie had forced himself upon his daughter, and when she became pregnant, he had warned her that if she told her mother or anyone else, there would be some killing done. In the family photograph, Mary's belly does not show, but she stares stonily from the photograph while her father looks a little defiant.
Yeah, I'm staring at the picture right now, and it's really creepy to think that that's what's happening behind.
And you can kind of see that,
the
right?
celluloid. I don't know. It's hard to read though because people back then in these pictures, oh my God, even my relatives and my
they all had the same faces.
like my great grandmother's pictures.
They weren't smiling.
No.
I wonder why.
Well, it was tough times back then. I don't know.
That's true. So the family massacre had entered history in the form of 10 songs, 2 books, and a film. I couldn't find the 10 songs.
I've heard the one.
Yeah, is it Sharon Needles? Lost in Family Murders?
Sharon Needles.
That's what
the
it said.
drag queen?
No. It's a song.
Oh.
That's one of the songs that I could find, but I literally tried to research.
I thought Sharon Needles is a drag queen who threw a Bible at me. Do you remember that? I got hit in the face with a Bible at the gay club.
I don't think
freshman year. I thought it was with Kiko, Jill, you. I didn't know who Sharon Needles was. Came out, literally was lip syncing to Marilyn Manson, ripped a Bible in half, chucked it into the crowd, and who took it to the face? Yeah, boy, right here.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
So a couple months before the event, Charlie Lawson had sustained a head injury while digging a ditch on his farm. For years, family and friends of the Lawsons thought that it had altered his mental state and was the cause of the massacre. Some say he was never the same after the injury. However, an autopsy and analysis of his brain at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, found no abnormalities.
Was there not an autopsy done of her, the sister? Was she pregnant? Is that a myth? I want to know.
It was real.
So it was confirmed that she was pregnant when she died.
I can't find anything like.
So it's not. So it's not confirmed.
No, it's
because if it was.
But
if it was in the okay, then that doesn't mean it's real. Because if it was in the autopsy, then it would be real. Because obviously people are gonna fucking try to piece together what went wrong, what snapped in this dude's brain to make him kill his whole family. But that was also really
common back then.
It was common, but that doesn't mean that it's real. It could. The dude could have just fucking snapped and went bonkers, or it could have been a totally different reason.
That's true. But so another theory is Charlie's head injuries may have played a part in the murders. The fact that he took the time and money to have a photo taken shortly before he killed them and then arranged their bodies after the murders showed that a lot more was going on than just a man who killed his family.
He placed rocks under their heads like little pillows.
Right. There's also a matter of why Arthur wasn't killed, but I think that it's because he knew that Arthur would be able to fight him, and that's why he sent him away.
Okay, that's plausible. In my head, I mean, I obviously can't climb into this fucked up person's head, but in my head, I would go for him first. I wouldn't hide and try to shoot the little girls. I would hide, send him off, and then shoot him when his back was turned if I thought he could fight me and I wanted to get this done this way.
Well,
I mean, clearly his plan was fucked.
Right. I really do believe that
she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. I don't doubt it. I'm not doubting it. I just wish there was proof of it. Have you seen what their house looks like?
Yeah. Looks like a shack.
Maybe that's why they were sad.
True.
Dude, where are the windows? Oh my God, there's no windows on this house.
Yeah, it was like really cheap.
It would be cheaper if you saved the wood and just left a hole there. Fill it with glass. Let some fucking... Get some vitamin D. Let the sun in there, baby. Wow, that's depressing. How did they all fit in that little shack?
I don't know. And they were just kept popping out kids.
There's chicken wire. Oh my God. Wow. Was that it?
Yeah, that's the case of the Lawson family murders. Wow. I'm looking up if she was pregnant.
Okay. That's I can't believe that he murdered those kids and bludgeoned the baby. That's fucked.
Yeah, like the baby.
Oh, well, Merry Christmas, you guys. We're just ending this year on a great note. Oh, my God.
Greatest of notes. So my tweet is from our friend Kiko at
Hey,
Kiko_L. She says, applying what you've come to learn and unlearn to your daily process will make all of the difference on how you choose to perceive your own life.
I love that. I stutter a lot on this podcast, but I'm going to
I sound like I'm
piggyback off of that.
Oh, I hate when people say that at work.
This is going to be our last episode for the year. So, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I know that New Year comes around and people make goals for themselves and, you aim high and sometimes it doesn't work out. So then, for some people end up falling harder. For other people, it's easier to brush off. At the end of the year, maybe just like reflect on how far you've come this year. For me personally, it's arguably been the worst year of my life. But I think it's important to focus on your accomplishments, and it's easy to say by the end of the year that, oh, it's about to be 2019 and I still haven't done X, Y, and Z. But in reality, I think it's better to keep in sight the shit you have done and accomplished and the stuff that you do have going for yourself. So yeah, just, go easy on yourself. If you're going hard on yourself, it's a new year. Pop a bottle of champagne.
Literally.
Also, point that cork away from your eye because I have been hit in the eye with a champagne cork, not out of the bottle. I was telling somebody this story and then they tossed the cork in the air. It bounced off of something and hit me in the eye. Do you remember that? You were there. I
remember that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, really quick, if you guys are looking to do some charitable work and you love to knit and crochet, I've talked about this before, but my mom does a really great thing with a whole other group of lovely ladies, but it's not just for ladies. Like if you're a male or whatever the hell you want to identify as, and you know how to knit or crochet or anything, there are premature babies and infants that need your help literally across all over the world. But what my mom does right now is knitting and crocheting blankets and little preemie wraps and socks and little booties and things for these babies that need it. Unfortunately, some of them don't always make it. But if this is something that you would want to do, or maybe in the year coming up and you're interested, go to circleofloveexo.com. Love my mom. Love the things that she's doing.
Yes, Mom.
So let her know that you heard about it on the podcast and do something good. And be nice to people and have a Merry Christmas.
Be nice to people and only put out positive vibes.
Yes, and twerk under that Christmas tree. Okay. Leave Santa cookies. And you better feed those reindeer too, bitch. You ever make reindeer food? You take the oatmeal and glitter.
Yes.
I will always do that.
Did you eat it?
No, I didn't eat it.
Good. You seem like the kind of kid that would.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
You said that. It was tempting because I was like, what is so alluring to these reindeer? Obviously,
I want to be like a fairy, and like, you'd eat the glitter.
And then I'd shit out glitter. Wow. Maybe I'll do that this year. Stay tuned, you guys.
Stay the fuck tuned.
And you guys know where to rate us. Hit us up on anything. odditiespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. We have Instagram, Twitter, Patreon.
Yeah, head on over to Patreon for bonus content, and you guys will be back next year refreshed, rejuvenated, and maybe...
And not shitty.
This episode's fantastic. It's Chrismysteries, baby. Jingle those bells.
Christmas.
Put out good vibes only, bitch.
I love that, bitch.
Okay.
After I just said that.
I know, right? Like,
this is how my life is going.
You guys, we love you. Let a friend know. Let one of your ugly friends know.
Yeah, so like your goal in New Year is to tell every one friend that you have about this podcast.
Thanks.
Don't let us down.
The world's fate is in your hands.
It really is. Please help me. I'm poor.
No pressure, but this shit could go crash to the ground and there's no one here to blame but yourself.
And you'll miss us. Don't forget that.
And with that being said, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year.
Year.
Bye, guys.